we are of a certain age, so we played already game 20 years ago at least, and we miss these really, really retro games. And as it happens, a lot of them has been remastered or rebooted. All right,
I don't know if
always.
there's an issue with the stream, but the videos keep going off
Uh,
for
that, that
myself and
I
Antoine.
I think I know why that is, and it shouldn't happen again. So.
I wanted to finish on some advertisement for the channel because you
sure.
played NieR, but you played NieR, so I thought, can you give us your impression of?
Sure, we can do
NieR, and
yeah.
make sure you go to the YouTube channel to see Adam's gameplay.
Yeah. Make sure you go there to see NieR. NieR Replicant version 1.224744871 continuous. I believe this is the square root of 2. I believe that is the significance of this number. It's a weird choice, but it's NieR. Okay. I really enjoyed this game. NieR Replicant. So when the original NieR released, it was in the West. Japan thought, in the West, people like big, brawny, strong men, and so they released NieR Gestalt, which had an adult NieR character, and in Japan they released NieR Replicant, which had the young NieR. The games played identically. It's just that your character was different, and the only difference was you're still trying to save the girl Yuna, but she is your sister if you are young NieR, and she is your daughter if you are old NieR. That's the only difference. Everything else is identical. In Replicant, basically they updated the graphics, but the gameplay is roughly the same. They did change a few things. For example, in the original, if you wanted to use magic, you had to sit still and use it. You couldn't run and use magic at the same time. You couldn't run and gun. So they added the run and gun from NieR Automata, so you could do that now. And they updated the music, so a lot of people actually kind of wish that they had done the thing with Trials of Mana where you could play the original music or the new music and you would have a choice, but unfortunately you don't. It's just the new music, which I think is supposed to tie it in a little bit more. Some of the themes are kind of related with NieR Automata. And also there is a new chapter added, 2 new chapters actually. So one of them is in the original game. It wasn't in the game, but they released a book and they had kind of what they call the Little Mermaid chapter. And in this one, you actually get to play through that. So that's about midway through the game. I thought it was going to be like a side quest, but no, it's part of the main story. So, I found that out after the fact, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what that was. But they added an entirely new chapter there. And then they also added an extra ending to it that kind of ties it in more with NieR Automata, and also was also again in the book. So a lot of people, when they got to that ending, they were kind of like, wait, they changed the ending, this isn't NieR, this, they did this, but it was like, nope, that was actually always canon. They just weren't able to put it in the game. So other than that, it plays pretty much the same as the original. If you've played NieR Automata, then and you like the gameplay, then this gameplay loop is basically exactly the same. Music's fantastic, story's pretty good, and it does do kind of the same thing with NieR Automata, where you start the game and you play through it, and then you have to play through it a second time. But the second time you start about halfway through, and you can kind of blaze through stuff a little bit quicker. So if you like NieR Automata, I would highly recommend it. If you like ARPGs, I would also highly recommend it. So,
yeah, I loved it. Because Replicant is a prequel to Automata, right?
Technically, Automata is a sequel to Replicant, but yeah, because Replicant came first.
Right, fair enough. So do you think that there will be a sequel to Automata?
There was. It's the online one. The not the online one. The mobile version is a sequel to Automata. But that's a mobile gacha game.
Good PC version.
I don't know. I mean, and this is the thing. They're loosely related. For example, NieR Automata takes place. NieR takes place. I don't remember which year it is, but it's the year. I don't remember. 5,000, 3,000, 6,000 something. NieR Automata takes place in the year 10,000 something. So I mean, this is millennia, several millennia in the future. And so they tie into each other. You know, you'll see faces reoccurring, or you know, they'll have vague references to each other. Same thing with Drakengard. You know, there's references to the what do they call it? The white flower. I don't remember what the name of the white flower. The lunar tear. Lunar tear is a flower in this that they kind of mention a few times. It shows up in Drakengard. It also, you know, there's a few references to it in NieR Automata. So mostly they're all in the same universe, but their connections are kind of more of fan service than actually meaningful sequels. So
Oh, you mean like they tried to do with Final Fantasy 10 and 7R
uh,
with the
with the
Shinra
with the
picture?
Shinra picture, even it's more
That's
than that, but
that's an
yeah,
Easter egg.
that's just entirely an Easter egg. Yeah, these are slightly less than Easter eggs. These are actually like thematically tied, you know. So
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
yeah, and then you know they might mention something offhanded where, you know, like for instance, they just showed there a robot, and that machine, you know, after you defeat him later on in the game, he flies off into space, and he inspires the aliens to create the machine life forms in NieR Automata. So, you know, if you look at the backstory that's not in the game, outside the game, you can see these ties a little bit stronger. But it doesn't detract from the game if you don't know them. It's just kind of like,
Okay.
oh, there's a guy with a moon head. Sure.
Why not?
Why not? All right. So I guess we're going to wrap it up with that.